When I was told that the final three will be playing in Severance Hall with the Cleveland Orchestra, I guess my first thought was attempting to imagine being in a situation like that myself at that age. And nothing in my experience comes close to that.
It's very discouraging because I kind of want to give up playing the piano when I listen to these kids. Without question, these are some of the best talents and best developed musicians in that 13 to 18-year-old age group in the world.
In their region, in their school, perhaps even in their state, they're the best young pianists. They've won all of those competitions already. And they're at the top of their field, really, from the peers that they would see regionally.
Competition is for young pianists ages 13 through 18. They're coming from all over the world. I would say about half are Americans. We have a large number from Canada, a large number from China, a large number from Korea. We also have one from Italy, one from England, one from Mexico, and one Italian, and one Ukrainian.
When I'm judging, I quite like not to know anything about the candidates. I don't know who's been teaching them, I don't know where they've come from.
You know, I can guess at their ages when they walk on stage. I cannot believe that someone who appears to be maybe 14 can be playing with such maturity.
So to get here is already an indication that you're regarded as having something rather special.
It's going to be quite a task to go from 43 down to 20 competitors.
To play once is good, of course, disappointing, and it's not nice to be knocked out, but at the same time there's benefit in playing. And of course, if you get through to the second, third round, the experience is all the greater.
The benefits of going to a competition, besides the fact that you practice like crazy, is that your playing is exposed to people who matter. You know, the people who matter are the well-known judges who are listening to you, who are going to remember you in future competitions and when you want to go find a school to study in. And it's invaluable for networking. You know, you meet all the people your age who are going to be important in your field. Even if you're not a winner, it's a festival atmosphere. You know, you are able to participate in master classes given by famous teachers. You're able to attend lectures and demonstrations. We're trying to stimulate growth in all the people who come here and encourage them, because we know that the way you play when you're 13 is really different from the way you play when you're 26 or 56.
Some of them probably feel very competitive, and others maybe are just there to do their thing. But it has to be, you know, a growing experience. I mean, I can't see how it wouldn't be.
As they have progressed, not only are they themselves having the benefit of competing and really doing their best work on the stage, but listening, that they're hearing each other. And that kind of exposure, that kind of peer exposure is tremendous relative to building one's imagination and one's potential.
I think what is frightening to hear in these competitions is just what the level of pianism is these days. It's the person who really has an identity, who has a voice. There's something individual to say that, for me, certainly is hopefully the thing we're looking for. I sometimes make the analogy that a pianist has to be a little bit like a conductor. You've got to understand the score, you've got to be able to imagine different instruments playing, you've got to be able to voice, you've got to handle textures.
I think the thing that maybe many people don't understand, given that the piano is basically a relatively easy instrument to play, is that we're dealing with incredibly complex combinations of sounds. And it's the awareness of how those sounds mesh that produces the art, I think.
Each one of these students from early on had aspects of their playing that were really the best amongst anybody else. And so to finally separate from 42 down to 30, down to 20, 10, 6, on to 3 is an extremely difficult proposition. And you really have to assess so many variables, and it takes a tremendous set of judges to do that effectively.
We have a motto for our competition, which is becoming infamous. And our motto is, never take the result of any competition seriously unless you win.
Now here's your host Robert Conrad, live from Warner Concert Hall with the Thomas and Yvonne Cooper International Piano Competition.
Good evening, I'm Robert Conrad, and I'm speaking to you live from the stage of Warner Concert Hall at the Oberlin Conservatory of Music, where I'm honored to be hosting the very first live broadcast of the Thomas and Yvonne Cooper International Competition.
In addition to that, NPR and other national affiliates have picked it up for delayed broadcasts. So we'll be seeing a national presentation of the competition on National Public Radio. We're very excited.
During the past week, 43 of the most promising young pianists from Canada, China, Finland.
Well, it's exciting seeing all these great pianists come to Oberlin from all around the world.
Across the United States have been giving performances of their lives.
You know, if it's part of their fiber now, it'll be part of their entire lives, and then they'll impact others with music. So I think it's the opportunity that's important. We're giving them the opportunity, you know, not only support them financially, but to educate them.
Would not be possible without the generous philanthropy of Thomas and Yvonne Cooper.
And we're so grateful to them for giving us this opportunity.
Tom and Yvonne's passion for music is only eclipsed by their passion for children. They really believe in the nature of the competition, that it's something that allows them to do their very best work.
There's a lot to be said for being the best that you can be at something. And in some ways it doesn't matter what level you attain, as long as you work as hard as you can and attain the level that, whatever level that you can get to. And the kids in this competition are clearly attaining a very high level.
They're polished, they are imaginative, they're obviously well taught. It's humbling. You know, I'm wondering, was I anywhere near that impressive at that age? I don't think so.
When we get to choose the last 3, we are above all going to be choosing someone who we feel confident, and I hope we're right, we feel confident we'll be able to get up on that big platform with that great orchestra and actually hold their own, be confident, be an assured performer.
They've had to work enormously hard to reach this point.
The Cleveland Orchestra, I believe, is confident that the final 3 contestants who play with them will be of an extraordinarily high caliber. And I think they're absolutely correct.
You play these pieces alone, or you play them with 2 pianos, but to have an orchestra, you've heard your favorite performers performing them, but then it's actually you with the orchestra. It's going to be absolutely thrilling.
A chance to play with the Cleveland Orchestra is really priceless, you know, especially when you're 13 years old or even 18 years old or 60 years old. It's a really priceless opportunity. Not that many people get to do it.
I've never played with an orchestra as great as this, and for them it's going to be an absolutely thrilling opportunity.
It's so prestigious. The Cleveland Orchestra is on everybody's list of the top 5 orchestras in the world, so it's quite an extraordinary moment for these young musicians, you know, to get that kind of not only experience but recognition.
It's amazing because like the Cleveland Orchestra is so good, and like to imagine me playing with them is like almost like not possible.
Oh my gosh, I have to say the favorite part is playing with the orchestra, because I mean Cleveland is such a good orchestra and playing with it is such a benefit. So, and like the whole competition was really fun, and like the different rounds. But I have to say, playing with the orchestra was the best.
In third place, Kate Luke.
I normally would practice probably in the summer, like 7 to 9 hours a day. But before this competition, I practice about 10 to 12 hours a day. But it raises my playing.
In second place, John Chet. And in first place, George Lee.